Well, in actual fact, there is some motion. Always an indication is when people start to lift their mobile phones into the air is a fairly good indication that something's on its way. Okay, we now have... Well, we have I was going to say a passing policeman on a motorbike, but the motorbike is now stationary. Lots of people are taking photographs of the policeman on the motorbike. I'm sure that is not the person who is carrying the Olympic torch. At least I did not read that a policeman on a motorbike was going to be the person carrying the Olympic torch. But I think this is a fair indication that this is now the start of the convoy, because there's now a second policeman on a motorbike, a third one. I think with the time just coming up to past, we are pretty much approaching the time when the Olympic torch was going to be passing. We've got quite a lot of policemen on motorbikes, a lot of people taking photographs of the policemen on motorbikes, lots of flags starting to wave. You're listening to Radio Verulam on 92.6 FM and online on radioverulam.com. This is Alexander Bermange, normally presenting the art show. Right, now you can probably hear the sounds of the policemen on the motorbikes. They are going forward. We've had 3 go past. Let's hope that none of those scallywags who ran past us get their little mitts on the Olympic torch like they did in some parts of the country the other day. But no, we've got obviously those 3 policemen on motorbikes have gone forwards to just make sure that the coast is clear. We've got a few just stationed, ready to ride up behind. Very, very heavy police presence here in the centre of St Albans. Loads of people, the mobile phones are out in force. People are taking photographs, people are waving their flags. We are surrounded by bunting and loads of people. So a lot of the people have now been brought off the pavements by the police. So they are lining Hatfield Road at all the junctions. They are parading past so that we can see. People are now having their photographs taken with the policemen. I wonder if these policemen are charging to have their photographs taken with them. So lots of families, which is always great. Lots of young people, making me feel immensely old, which is never a good thing. But hey, it happens to us all, I guess. And we are just waiting any moment now for the Olympic torch to be carried past Hatfield Road, which is Radio Verulam's home, and it's just a fantastic coincidence that it's Radio Verulam's 5th anniversary today. Today's the day that, well, actually it was our 5th anniversary yesterday, but hey, what's one day between friends? And yes, it's a wonderful coincidence that today is the day that the Olympic torch is being carried through our very town. Lots of Radio Verulam listeners has been coming through all day. We've been broadcasting from outside of the Courtyard Cafe for the last few hours. We'll be doing so for another couple of hours. And pretty much approaching now is the moment that everyone has been waiting for, the torch. Now, they do have a very, very strict schedule. Everything is timetabled to within an inch of its life. So this has obviously been the case for all of the various locations that the Olympic torch has been carried through. Great sense of anticipation, lots and lots of policemen on their motorbikes. Obviously, a convoy which is going to be preceding, surrounding and following the Olympic torch bearers. There are obviously a number of different Olympic torch bearers who carry it throughout the day. It'll be interesting to see who carries it past this stretch. These things are kept very closely under wraps. But in actual fact, the people who've been carrying it along our very road and the surrounding roads have included Farida Usman, Glyn Carter, Hannah Gallagher, Joe Luty, John Eastwell, Kate Thomas, Michael Swain, Rebecca Andrews, Rita Hill, Sarah Toll and Scott Marsh. And Claire Weston is one of them. And Claire Weston is in fact a teacher, a local teacher who was nominated by one of her pupils. And the pupil who nominated her said, "I think that my teacher, Miss Weston, should carry the Olympic flame. She works very hard teaching us, is always there for us and inspires us to do our best. Before she came to our school, we didn't enter many sports competitions. Now we often win them, and she loves the Olympics." So she's just one, Claire Weston, just one of the various Olympic torchbearers through St Albans. Now, I can hear the faint ripple of applause. Everyone is standing on tiptoe. Everyone has got their eyes wide open, waiting for the moment, because it's a blink and you'll miss it thing. It's going to be carried past, and then before you know it, it will have gone. Sure, it'll be surrounded by a great deal of applause and cheers and shouts when the moment comes. But the moment is not yet upon us. So stay tuned. I know there are people out here who are actually listening on personal headphones, which is a great thing to see. We've got lots of kids standing on or sitting on their parents' shoulders, or I presume it's their parents. And within our midst, here we are. Okay, we have a police car. Police car is not normally the kind of thing to arouse a lot of excitement, but after a whole load of motorcycles, here is a car. So we have got a car with a waving policeman and one of the Olympic mascots in person. Well, I say in person, it looks like a bit of a cuddly toy, but they've got one of the Olympic mascots with his, her, or its head stuck out of the window. Don't try this at home, kids. And in fact, they have pretty much stopped a stone's throw from where I am stood. And they are having their photograph taken as well. In the days before mobile phones and the days before mobile phones had cameras, would people have photographed such things? They probably would, but I think pretty much everyone around me has got their photograph taking appliance in the air, be it an old-fashioned camera or a phone or an iPad or an iPod or an iPad or whatever. So we've got this police car, which is obviously paving the way for the thing that everyone's really here for, which is the Olympic torch. You are listening to Alexander Bermange. We are coming to you here on Radio Verulam live from outside our studios, which are on top of the Courtyard Cafe. The Courtyard Cafe have opened for this day. They're not one to miss a trick. Lots of people have been getting refreshments there. If you're in the area, come on down. I feel like Leslie Crowther. So the Olympic coach is arriving. A coach which has not got 192 or the 604, but Torch Relay 2012. This is the Olympic coach, folks. We have got the aforementioned police car with our lovely Olympic mascot hanging outside of it. Then we've got some random looking bloke on a bike. I like to give you the detail. Then we have a car, an Olympic Torch Relay branded car. Lots of honking going on, and that's not a euphemism. We've got the Torch Relay 2012 bus going past, with lots of excited people waving outside and inside. Another Olympic Torch Relay branded car. Then we've got a large van promoting a soft drink, which I'm deliberately not going to mention because they haven't paid us to advertise. But it's a big van. I'm not going to say the colour because that will give it away. We've got some bloke standing outside of the top. Okay, it's Coca-Cola. Lots of music coming out of it. So a big Coca-Cola van passing with someone dancing. I don't think these are professional dancers by the looks of things, but bless them, they're trying their best. So the Coca-Cola van, followed by some random bloke on a bike. When I say random bloke, it's not totally random. You're listening to Radio Verulam on 92.6 FM. This is the advertising section. So you know all those companies that pay millions to have their logos appear in the corner of Olympic associated adverts. This is their vehicles. So, okay, let's succumb to the free advertising. We've had the Coca-Cola contingent. We've now got the Samsung contingent. Now, Coca-Cola tried dancing. Samsung have gone for noise and for lots of wild-looking girls on top. And I hope you can hear me. They're blasting out the Samsung van with all of their cheerleaders on top. Okay, we've had Coca-Cola, we've had Samsung. Boy, am I going to get into trouble with the guys at the station with this product placement. Never mind, we do invite any of these companies to buy advertising space in Radio Verulam. Right, the next advertising related van is the Lloyd's TSB van with lots of people clad in green. It's not easy being green, but they are doing it. Right, then we have another Olympic branded bus, a good old bus with Moment to Shine on it in yellow, and again brandishing the logos of the companies that have sponsored the Olympics. Right, that was the commercial break element of it. So if it's a film, then those are the trailers, hopefully. So we're glad that that's gone, and they've made their noise and are going up the other end of Hatfield Road towards the town centre of St Albans. And now everyone is still waiting with bated breath for the moment when the Olympic torch is going to appear. Because appear it must. It is all scheduled very, very detailed and accurate a manner. And Energy is standing next to me. Energy, the great aficionado of all things sporting. What do you have to say about this momentous occasion?
I think I just better clear that up. It's not true. But I'd just like to remind people that while all this sponsor's going on, we are actually sponsored today, Radio Verulam, by the Yoga Hall. So I'd just like to say thanks for everything they've brought to the table to enable us to be able to do our broadcast today.
Indeed, a very important point. And in honour of that, Energy, would you like to do some live yoga for us now?
I will do that right now, yes.
Right. I am now watching... Oh my word, I've never seen you do that with your legs before.
This is called the stillness posture.
Very good. Lovely. Thanks to the Yoga Hall, and we encourage everyone to go down to the Yoga Hall and practice yoga so that they can continue supporting us in this way. Many, many thanks to the Yoga Hall. Thank you, Energy, for your valuable yogic contribution. Right, we are now still waiting for the Olympic torch to appear. We have had the sponsored section of the afternoon. Boy, they dragging this one out. But hey, it's an event. It's going to last a matter of seconds, so you may as well make an afternoon of it. So the crowds are really, really out in force, standing several deep, certainly in terms of the areas where people can go up on a raised level. A lot of people have got prime positions. These are the people who've been here since 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, at least they look that way. And here they are. You see, it's amazing how you can say, here they are, and everyone turns their head. But it was just a false alarm. So, we are waiting for the Olympic torch to be borne aloft through the streets of St Albans. It did rain somewhat earlier on, but it seems to have held off for now. So thanks to him up above. Great afternoon in St Albans. Loads of families, loads of balloons and bunting and flags and product placement. Well, lots of people are making rather a lot of money from selling flags, apart from the people who got those free inside newspapers and from other such outlets. So, lots of excitement, very heavy police presence, which is all reassuring. Lots of frisbees and general activity and merriment. Now, there's a kind of bit of a hushed sense of anticipation now, because we've just had all those advertising-related vans go past to get the plugs over with for the various companies that have sponsored the Olympics, and people are just waiting for the torch. It's somewhat hushed in comparison with beforehand. Everyone is just facing in one direction. That's the direction of the railway station, as opposed to the direction of the town centre, and waiting for the Olympic torch. This will probably be, for most of us, unless we're Olympic geeks and go to other countries where it's held, this will probably be the only time in most of our lifetimes when this will happen. Maybe for the younger members of the audience here, I call it an audience, the riffraff. No, I didn't mean that. The general public, that's what I meant. The general public. I got some very, very nasty looks when I said riffraff. Lots of people who I think it will probably be their only chance to see the Olympic torch. Some people here look so old that they probably saw the very first Olympic torch, but we won't say too much about them. So, we've got lots of laughter and merriment as we all continue to wait for the Olympic torch to go by. I've got a very excited looking young lady next to me. Young lady who's looking very excited. How excited are you to be here waiting for the Olympic torch with me?
Oh, very actually, young Alex. Yes, it's... John B.S. and I were on earlier with Elspeth, and they are dragging out just a little wee bit, but it's not too bad because it's momentous and we like this.
They are dragging it out, aren't they? They're milking it for every moment.
But we've managed to get very near the front, so that's good.
We have. Well, I will leave you to take up your prime position because I might be peering over your shoulder.
Well, I'm only little and you're very tall.
I didn't want to say that, but radio, you can have all kinds of illusions on the radio. We shouldn't have dispelled the myth.
I think you're about 6'4", aren't you?
6'2".
6'2". Well, I'm only 5'2", so I'm only wee, so that's why I'm at the front.
Well, I'm wearing my high heels today.
Good man, I wish I was.
There we are. Lovely. So, raised eyebrows from John B.S., who was just looking at my high heels and saying, thinking to himself, oh, I wish I had those on. Only joking. Now, we've got all kinds of people come out onto the streets of St Albans, from the high and lofty to the plebs, basically. Some people really should have made more of an effort with their clothing, but who am I to diss them? Because it is a celebration. Today we are celebrating Radio Verulam being on the air for 5 years. 5 whole years. Right, now is the moment when we've got the Olympic torch, which I think is in our very midst. Michael from the Courtyard Cafe, how excited are you to be on the streets of St Albans waiting for the Olympic torch to go by?
I can't wait. It's so fantastic. There's hordes and hordes of people here. It's just amazing, I think.
So why did you decide on this day of all days to open the Courtyard Cafe on a Sunday?
Well, I was hoping for a quiet afternoon, but it hasn't quite turned out like that, really.
Right, now we've got another police motorcycle going past. The second police motorcycle going past. This is probably the indication, unless they want to just build up our hopes even more. There are more sponsors' vans to go past, which you never know. This could be the sign that the Olympic torch is on its way. A third policeman on a motorbike is riding past the Courtyard Cafe. Michael, from which establishment we just spoke to. There's lots of furry animal action going on. I do like to give a detailed bird's eye view of what's going on, and lots of furry animals and mascots in vehicles, which is always nice to see. I mean, none of them have had those pink fluffy dice yet, thank God. But some of them need to show a bit more taste in their toy department. So, everyone is just facing one direction, that is the direction towards the station on Hatfield Road. No one really cares what's going on behind them towards the town centre for once, because this is the direction that the torch is going to be carried along Hatfield Road. The Olympic torch. It was the 6th of July 2005 that it was announced that the Olympics were coming our way. Sadly, we remember that date for all of the wrong reasons now. Chap on a bicycle going past, who some people seem to think was the Olympic torch, but I'm reliably informed that he was just an imposter. Nothing to do with the actual real thing. Now, we've got a bloke running past. Now, someone should have told him there are all those sponsored vehicles. He should have got a spot on one of them. Or maybe it's a marathon runner who's taken 3 months to do the London Marathon. You never know. All kinds of people, but the nice people at the Olympics have made sure that there are runners, there are jumpers, there are skiers, there are drivers. Right, very, very, very heavy presence of people clad in yellow. They are being pushed onto the pavement. They don't want any of those oiks, those young scallywags, getting at the Olympic torch as happened somewhere else. No, not here in St Albans. Here in St Albans, we're classy. We do things properly, as is signified by the fact that another police vehicle, a police motorcycle, my God, if I had £5 for every police motorcycle that had gone past this afternoon, I'd be a very, very wealthy man. So, our police motorcycle is about to go past with a very serious-looking copper. He's not waving at anyone. No, sharp intake of breath from this particular copper. No, he's not waving. He's not entered into the spirit. He wants to be at home watching it on the telly. So, here we have it. Or not, as the case may be. Some merry fellow joining the merriment. We've now got an Olympic branded van with some geezer driving it, who is holding a fake Olympic torch. Well, I say a fake. It looked more like an ice cream cone to me. So we've got another Olympic vehicle. Who is in all these vehicles? It's only a torch. It's a torch. They could have saved on the transportation costs. I would have walked it down the road for them. Anyway, another vehicle, a van with moment to shine. And here it is, the Olympic torch with the fire burning is Racing Masters, a lovely looking lady with 098. Hello, lovely lady. Hello, lovely lady. Give us a wave. Give us a wave for Radio Verulam. There it goes. She waved for Radio Verulam. You may not have seen it, but boy, did you hear it. That wave spoke volumes. There it was, the Olympic torch. That was the moment. That was the moment. And what's left for us now but more branded vehicles? Another bus with moment to shine on it. I think they must have taken every double-decker bus in London and rebranded it. Because now we've got the aftermath. We have the trailers. We've got another branded bus with lots of people in white. Who are all these people? They're probably some of the other torchbearers. Another police car. And guys, that may well have been it. Apart from the dregs, there's another police motorcycle going past. And lovely listeners, you may not have been here in person. You may not have seen it. But you heard it. You heard the Olympic torch being borne aloft. and let's grab some random unsuspecting punters to see what they thought of the Olympic torch. Let's just grab some unsuspecting members of the public who really are just more interested in trading up some coppers. Let's see. Well, let's see energy. Let's see energy. What did you think of the moment at which the Olympic torch was borne aloft?
Well, after that big build-up, it was quite special to actually see it go past. I have to say, I quite enjoyed it.
After the long build-up, I would have been grateful for everyone. I've got a lovely-looking gentleman whose eyes just say that he's begging me to ask him what he thought of it. Sir,
Oh, that's brilliant.
what was the highlight of it for you?
I don't know. The whole thing.
The whole thing. Right, lovely. We've got loads of lovely people streaming past. Madam, what was your high spot of the day?
The flame.
The flame. And is this your what's your name? What's your name, my love?
Edison.
And did you enjoy seeing the flame?
Yes.
Now, did you have to stand on your mummy's neck or shoulders to see it?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, we've got so many people. That I've been brought back. I'm not allowed to mix with the good citizens of St Albans. I've had overexposure to them. Overexposure to St Albans residents is not a good thing and can be damaging to your health. So I'm going to have a quiet lie down and we'll go to a track. You're listening to 92.6 FM Radio Verulam.